Mom, thank you for today.
And thank you for coming out here to see me today. I'm sorry that I came home a little later than usual.
There's no problem at all with that. Faith said she had a great time as well as of it. And as of right now, she's super happy to have seen you again.
I'm so glad she's happy to have been able to meet me. I did my best with cooking, so it makes me happy that she enjoyed everything.
Right now, the both of us are going to go into food comas really soon. Everything was perfect, and it seems you even made some foods you normally never cook for me or the rest of the family. But man, everything was absolutely delicious.
Well, I did my best.
You've been really busy with other things lately, so I'm sure this was tough for you to squeeze in, right?
Well, you said you were bringing over your fiancé this time, so I had to make sure everything was cooked perfectly for her. I'd never send out something half-baked, right?
Well, you didn't have to put everything into making all that food for her today. But thank you so much, Mom. Even Faith is telling me she didn't expect you to be so open to her coming over this time around. She feels really loved now. I'm happy to hear her saying that you really are such a lovely mother.
She really does seem like the kind of woman to become your wife really soon, Andrew. You need to make sure you treat her well. And so do I. And I'm really happy that she's a very bright and kind woman to you, and the rest of us. For a while, I was a bit worried what kind of woman you'd be bringing into the family.
She really is a great girl, right? I mean, I'm the one that chose her after all, so there's no mistaking that.
That's right. Just make sure the both of you keep sticking together on things. And keeping one another happy.
Yep. I'll let her know you said that as well. Faith has also told me that she wants to become even closer with you.
Is that so? Oh, that's wonderful news.
After meeting you for dinner today, I think you really sold yourself to her. Before coming, she was going on and on about how nervous she was to meet you again, but after the visit, she's really settled down.
Well, I am the mother of her fiancé after all, so I can understand her becoming a bit more nervous about me. I was a bit nervous to see her again, too.
Honestly, before she came over today, she was a bit crazy. She kept asking me what would happen if you ended up not liking her. What would happen if you didn't want the two of us to get married. She was going on and on about everything that could go wrong today.
She was really that nervous about seeing me today? What have you been saying to her about me all this time? You haven't been trying to call me names or anything behind my back, have you?
I have not. It just seems that a lot of her friends around her who are married now end up dealing with their husbands' mothers always picking on them and such. Right now, the both of us are going to go into a food coma really soon. She must have started to really wonder about whether or not you'd be the same problem to her. She was even more worked up over the fact that Dad isn't around anymore, and so you have free reign to do whatever you want to her now.
Is that right? I guess there are in fact some women that treat their son's wife like items instead of humans, but I do have some friends myself that ended up having issues with their mother-in-laws from time to time like that.
You never had a problem with your mother-in-law, right? I always thought about things like being picked on by your mother-in-law and such was stuff only seen in dramas. Yet it seems that lately it's happening to everyone.
I was treated very well by your grandma. She was not the kind of woman that would hurt a fly even, so she never had anything against me. And you even know that the both of us were really close together, right?
I do. You both went out together quite often, actually. Even going on some smaller vacations with one another at times.
And when you brought your fiancé over for the first time today, I felt that I wanted to treat her the exact same way my mother-in-law treated me. I promise you that I'm never going to pick on her in any way, shape, or form. And I never want to even go down that path. And please tell her that for me as well, okay?
All right, I'll let her know that.
Now, once you guys have your marriage forms handed in and processed, come back over and we can celebrate you both becoming husband and wife. You guys plan to have all that done next month, right?
That's what we're thinking. And when that day comes, we'll let you know. Well, thank you for everything today.
Andrew, how have things gone with you handing in the marriage forms? It's been over 2 months now since you guys last came over to have dinner at my house. Yet since then, I haven't heard a word from you. Everything's been going okay with Faith recently, right?
Stop coming to talk with me like you have no clue what's going on here.
Excuse me? What's gotten into you?
It's because of you, Mom, that things over here become a whole lot more stressful. You have no right coming to me asking about how our marriage is going and all that crap.
Hold on a moment, Andrew. What do you mean it's my fault for all of that? What's going on with you two? I don't have any idea what you're going on about right now.
It's because of you, Mom, that I might end up losing the one woman I've ever loved.
What? Well, what do you mean you're going to lose her? What's going on?
You already know the reason for why she'd want me to leave.
I'm really sorry, Andrew, but I have no clue what you mean. Can we both take a moment to calm down and then talk a bit more about this? I'd really like you to explain everything to me in detail.
I know that you've been picking on Faith for a while now, and she came to me to tell me that you are indeed picking on her behind my back, just like the rest of her friends' mother-in-laws do. And she ended everything by saying she doesn't want to get married now.
Huh? I've been picking on her?
You must have gone behind my back and found a way to get her number or something. She was crying about what you said to her already. She was so looking forward to the two of you becoming such good friends.
I'm really sorry, but I have no idea what you're talking about, Andrew. You're saying that I've been the one picking on Faith. Why would I ever want to do that to my own son's wife?
But she told me all of this was happening. A few days after we came over to have dinner at your house, she said you began contacting her and saying all sorts of terrible things about her. You must have gotten her number the day she came over for dinner, right?
I did, but all I did was send her one message saying thank you for coming over for dinner, but after that she never ever replied to me.
Stop lying to me. She's already showed me all the terrible things you've been saying to her because it's all been saved on her phone. She knew I wouldn't believe her if she didn't have any proof, and that's why she screenshotted everything. So I'll have you know right now, you're not going to fool me, Mom.
But I'm being very serious when I say I have no memory of ever doing those things. Are you sure this isn't all just some sort of misunderstanding? As for those screenshots, are you sure those are messages from me?
I told you already that she said they were from you. Why are you still trying to act as though you were not the one that sent those messages when we have proof of you doing it? You've been going after her this whole time, even before we had a chance to hand in our marriage forms. You're the worst, Mom. I can't believe what I've seen you doing.
Andrew, calm down. You have to believe me when I say that I'd never do anything like that. You have my word on that. Are you sure that this isn't just some sort of misunderstanding on Faith's part? I feel that there's something wrong here, and I think you should go have one more talk with her about the events that played out.
I already have the evidence of you picking on her, though. So there's no point in me going back to have another talk with her. Just know that from now on, I no longer want you talking to her. If you can't listen to me, and you do keep talking to her, we might just end up breaking up. However, I'm sure that's what you're hoping happens to us, huh?
I would never want you and Faith to break up. I have been waiting a long time to hear that the two of you have gotten married. Why are you not able to believe your own mother's words?
From how you act towards Faith when you send her those messages, and the way you're acting around me now is way too different. You think that I can believe you when you're this two-faced? We just want to get married already, so quit all of that. I've had enough of this from you, so just stop.
Are you not going to at least doubt what she's saying to you? Even a little bit. Yet you're going to doubt me 100%. There is a chance that she's been lying to you, Andrew. And you're just going to believe those lies and throw me away?
Faith has no reason to be lying to me about you.
And I have no reason to be lying to you either, Andrew.
Sure. I bet you're just jealous to see me leaving you for a younger woman that I'm planning on marrying. You are seriously the worst mother on this planet. Do you find joy in hurting the feelings of younger women that love me?
Do you think your own mother is the kind of person that's ever found joy in hurting other people?
You never were that person before. But after what I've seen these past few months, I've changed that thought.
My gosh. No matter what I say to you, you're not going to trust me, are you? All right, then. I'm done here. I'm not going to say anything to you until you finally calm down. But just know that I'm not the one picking on Faith, and I have no clue who is. I pray that you guys figure out the real problem behind all of this really soon. Andrew, I heard something from AJ about you. You and Faith have chosen a day to have you guys' wedding? You haven't said anything to me about that yet. What are you trying to do to me?
What do you want? I thought I told you not to contact me anymore.
I understand that, but do you really think I'm just going to let you guys run off without me ever being able to talk to you? I wanted to hear about your wedding plans, and that's why this time I'm here.
I don't want you coming to our wedding, though.
I'm going to be the mother of the groom, though. Are you sure you want me to stay away from your wedding?
I get that. On her again. And as her husband, I can't just let you continue to mess with her like you have been. And neither of us want someone at our wedding who is willing to hurt other people. This is what the both of us want, so stay away from the wedding.
All right, then. Fine.
This is all because you chose to be a jerk to her. Even if you aren't such a big fan of Faith, you should have just kept those feelings to yourself, and things could have turned out much better for all of us. So you not being able to come to our wedding now is what you get for acting like a child. Don't get upset with either of us over this.
Well, I don't mind. I'm sure that wedding isn't even going to happen anyway. If you don't want things to get out of hand, you need to start thinking a bit more about your current situation.
Huh? What the heck are you talking about? What do you mean you're sure our wedding won't happen?
I think that it's going to be canceled. And what I mean is that you're going to be the one to cancel it.
I told you and everyone else already that we're having this wedding. Why the heck would I cancel the wedding that I'm planning on having?
About that Faith chick. When you realize what kind of person that wife of yours really is, you'll forget about ever wanting to be married to her. You'll end up wanting that wedding canceled. And then even think about divorcing her.
Stop trying to make me laugh. What do you even know about Faith that I don't? That's right, you don't know crap about her.
If anything, I know a bit more about her than even you, her own husband, knows. I had a pro go out searching up things about that chick, and made sure that I had all my ducks in a row for this day.
A pro?
Someone who works as a detective.
You got yourself a detective? You had a detective go out and look into Faith? Why would you do that when she's done nothing wrong?
There's pretty good reasons for that, actually.
Well, tell me what those reasons are. Because as of right now, I cannot even comprehend why you'd ever get a detective to look into your son's wife.
Well, because things started to become a bit strange the last time the both of us talked. 3 months ago. And after that, I really started to doubt that Faith. And thank goodness for the pro I hired. They really did a wonderful job finding out things that even you have no clue about. After doing a couple of deep searches into her, they came up with quite a few dark secrets that she's been keeping.
What are you going on about?
What do you think I'm going on about?
Stop trying to waste my time with all this nonsense.
What? You have to know at least a little bit about what I'm going to tell you, right?
When you start to talk to me like that, it does raise some questions, but not about her.
You remember that one girl, Vanessa, right? She's the girl you were going out with before you started to date Faith?
I remember her, but we ended up breaking things off in a pretty bad way, so I try my best not to think about her anymore.
You thought that she was cheating on you and that's your reason for breaking up with her, right? And that's why after a while of fighting, you did in fact leave her for good.
I wasn't just thinking that, but in fact, it was true that she was cheating on me. For a very long time, Vanessa had been with another man behind my back. And not just with him, but was also going out with a bunch of other men as well for one-night stands. I had every right to break things off with her.
Well, about all that cheating. Faith made all of that up in your head so that you'd believe Vanessa was really cheating on you with all those men. Vanessa never did anything wrong back then.
Huh? You're saying that Faith fabricated a lie to get me to leave Vanessa? There's no way in hell, right? Faith had nothing to do with Vanessa and I breaking up.
Faith and Vanessa were both friends around the time you guys were dating, right? And it seems that Faith really had her eyes set on you. And so she did everything in her power to make sure that you would leave Vanessa and become all hers.
You're wrong. When I was worried about how Vanessa had been cheating on me with all those men, Faith came to my side and helped me through what could have been a much worse breakup. And that's how I ended up dating Faith after that breakup.
And that was all a part of Faith's plan. It's pretty easy to get someone to like you when they are weak and need some love. And at that time you were very weak and desperate, and Faith was right there ready to give you the love that would win you over for good. She really is a complete schmuck for making up lies to get you to leave your girlfriend at that time.
I don't think that the Faith back then would have ever done something like that.
I can see that. Even I was shocked to learn all of this from my friend. When she came over to meet me at dinner that night, she never struck me as the kind of person who would ever want to hurt anyone. But what I'm telling you right now is all the truth.
Faith is a sweetheart and could never find it in herself to hurt another person. And she's actually really empathetic. I don't know where that detective got all of that story from, but I will not believe any of it for a gosh dang second.
She's just been acting two-faced is all. And as for those messages that she made you believe came from me, they are all lies as well that she's fabricated. I never once did anything like that to her. She was able to Photoshop all those screenshots to make you believe that it was indeed me.
Are you serious? Are you seriously saying that you never sent any hurtful text to her?
I told you before, right? I am not an idiot nor a jerk, Andrew. And one other thing. It seems there are more people than just me that can see the true person that she's trying to hide from you. All of the friends she had back when you dated Vanessa all seem to have terrible things to say about Faith. Faith doesn't have a whole lot of female friends, right? All of those people that she was hanging out with back when you were with Vanessa are no longer hanging out with her, right?
That's true. Hey, if what you're telling me right now is really true, that Vanessa never did anything wrong, and that I was the one that was played for a fool the whole time?
Well, you would definitely be called the fool now since she never cheated on you, yet you still never trusted her. After all, you never believed what she was trying to say to you for a second back then, right? And you're having a hard time even now trusting what I'm telling you. Faith has really done an excellent job playing you for a fool. And that's the way she wants you.
But, Mom, saying things like this about her and her past are unbelievable. Do you even have any evidence of what you're saying?
I'll hand you all the documents I received from that pro, so that you have a better understanding of all this. Also, that detective made sure to go around to all the people that hung out with Faith in the past and made sure to ask them about what she'd done. It seems she made up some terrible rumors about a lot of things, Andrew.
Terrible rumors? About people like Vanessa and I?
There are a couple of awful rumors about you and Vanessa, but that's not all of them. She's made plenty more about other people that she's tried to manipulate.
What else? Has she been making up more crap recently?
I'm sure when you hear about them, you're going to have that same feeling you had about me when you thought I was the one picking on her. It'll even make you want to cancel your wedding.
Joanna, do you know what's happened with Andrew? I haven't been able to find him anywhere after he went out just a little bit ago. And after coming back home myself, a lot of his things had disappeared. I'm not even able to get an answer from him by phone. So, do you have any idea what happened to him?
If it isn't my daughter-in-law, Faith. Nice to hear from you again after so long. We haven't talked for about 5 months now, right? I'm surprised that you'd be texting me now of all times. Aren't you afraid of talking to an old woman like me that loves to bully you?
Well, right now it's an emergency. What's happened to Andrew?
If you're asking about my son, he's moved into a new place. He asked for a moving company to handle all his things and help him get to his new house. I'm even more surprised to hear that there are moving companies that can come out to help on the same day. This world really has become a whole lot more convenient, right?
Huh? Well, what do you mean he's moved himself into a new place?
Something about how shocked he felt and everything like that. And that's the big reason why he got out of that house you're in.
Why are you saying all of that in a way that makes it hard for me to understand? We are supposed to have our wedding really soon. The wedding and everything is already prepared and we just have a few more days and you're telling me he's moved?
I believe that he's going to have the wedding canceled. And he's going to have you pay for the cancellation fee.
Why is he going to cancel the wedding? And what's this about him wanting to make me pay for it being canceled? That Andrew. What the hell does he think he's doing?
Well, he happened to learn about the real kind of person you are, Faith. All about various things.
The real kind of person I am? What are you talking about?
I know this may sound a bit wrong of me, but I had someone take a closer look into you and your past. You lied about how I was picking on you and everything before, right? Well, after learning about that from Andrew, I started to become a little doubtful of you and wanted to know why you'd make up such a thing about me. And so I had a detective take a deeper look into you.
A detective? You went and found a detective to look into my past?
A whole bunch of really bad stories began to spill out about you, and I was left in awe. You fabricated a whole bunch of lies to get my son to break up with Vanessa, thinking that she was cheating on him, right? But out of everything we found out about you, that's not even close to the worst thing. You happen to have fallen in love with one of your bosses from your office, right?
What? Why would I ever have a relationship with one of my bosses from work?
But when we talked with all your coworkers and other employees there, they happen to all be talking about you two right now. You happened to win the heart of one of the managers there, and that allowed you to get a massive raise from them, right? And not only did they give you a fantastic raise, but they also made sure that you never had to do any tedious work again, right? Well, something like that. It's hard to keep something like that out of the minds of the rest of your coworkers, right?
That is such BS. I could take you to court for trying to ruin my image like that.
If you think you have a chance at winning that court case, then go right ahead, Faith. But I doubt you'll ever make it out of that courtroom with a smile on your face.
Why do you think that?
I had a long call with your boss.
You called him?
That's right. I called that manager of yours that you have in your arms right now.
You went and called the company I work for without even coming to me about it first?
When I brought up to him that you're married now to another man, yet you're still going out with him, he went silent. And what do you think he said? He told me that he'd paid my son a settlement as long as we kept all that stuff the two of you have been doing a secret from the company. That must mean what we found out about you cheating on my son with him is true, right?
You have it all wrong.
I'm getting tired of you trying to dodge the truth. There is no point in continuing on with these lies anymore, as you're only making things worse for yourself.
I'm so freaking sorry about all of this.
You're wasting your time apologizing to me about all of this. My son is the one wanting to leave you now, so maybe you'll have better luck talking to him now. Go apologize to Andrew right now.
But when I try to call or text him, he never answers me. Tell me where he's moved to right now.
Why should I do that?
I want to go see him in person so that I can apologize to him face to face.
Right now, my son doesn't appear to want to talk with you. He's still in the early stages of trying to deal with everything he's learned today. So for a little while, you'll have no chance of talking to him.
Then, can you at least tell him something for me? Tell him that I'm sorry about keeping so many things a secret from him for so long. Ask him to please rethink wanting to throw me away. Tell him that I want to make things right now and start living as a proper married couple again, so I want his forgiveness. Tell him all of that?
That's not happening, Faith. He's already told everyone that the wedding is canceled now, as well as told the wedding coordinator. And right now, he's in talks with a lawyer about how to handle the divorce. He's not only going to have you pay for the canceled wedding, but he's also getting a settlement from you. So it's time for you to think of other options besides getting his forgiveness, okay?
Is that so? Then at the very least, can you make sure that you both keep the reason for the wedding being canceled a secret from everyone?
Now hold on, Faith. We can't do that.
Why can't you keep it a secret? There's no good reason to tell everyone about this, right? I've already got enough to deal with as it is.
A whole bunch of really bad stories began to spill out about you, and I was left in awe. Everyone has already cleared out their schedules and spent money on gifts by this point for the occasion. This is all terrible news to them, right? Don't you feel sorry for all of them? That's why we all owe those guests the gift of knowing why this whole wedding had to be canceled last minute.
But if you do all of that, you're only going to make me look worse than I already do. Everyone at work already knows about the things going on between my manager and I. But if you start talking about why the wedding's been canceled, my family will know.
I'm actually planning on calling your parents right now to tell them the sad news. So you don't have to be so worried.
Hold on, Joanna. I want to explain all of this to them myself. So please don't say anything to those two for me. Please.
You don't seem to have your head on straight right now, so I'll have to explain everything to them, detail by detail. I'll make sure they understand everything completely, okay?
Stop that. Please stop. I want to apologize for all the bad things I've done up to today. So please just forgive me and let me handle everything.
Nope, I'm not forgiving you. You really hurt my lovely little boy today. So I'd like you to be prepared for when you have to face judgment for all of this. And then you are going to be held responsible for everything you've done to the people around you. And I'm going to live up to those lies you told Andrew. You may not be his wife for much longer, but until the day he gets that divorce, I'm going to make sure you're picked on enough to where you'll never forget what's happened here. After that, just as I told Faith, the wedding was canceled. And my son went from guest to guest, explaining to them all what happened that led to this. And he made sure that everyone knew. Even the kids that were invited. The manager that Faith had been having secret affairs with ended up changing offices, and Faith was forced to leave her position within the company and find somewhere else to work. We were able to get a settlement from the both of them, as well as make sure that Faith paid every last penny for that wedding. After losing pretty much all her money and her job, Faith ran back home to her parents' house looking for a place to rest. But when she arrived back home, her parents explained to her that she caused her family a whole lot of embarrassment and that they wouldn't let her get off easy for that. However, at one point, after weeks of being constantly yelled at and blamed by her parents, she couldn't take it anymore and fled her house. And as of right now, nobody knows what's really happened to her. As for my son, whose eyes have been opened after all these events, he's gone back to his ex and apologized to her for what he'd done. She forgave him for being played a fool by Faith, but told him that she already had a husband of her own and that they couldn't really get together anymore. Andrew was saddened by that fact for a little while, but that sadness soon started to fade as things between the two of us became a lot better again. It's really easy to fall deeply in love with someone you really care for, but you should never be too deep in love where you blindly listen to everything the one you love says and does. And I told my son that, for whatever future relationships he'll have. I'm only praying now that the next woman he falls in love with will be someone with not only a kind and loving appearance, but a soft and gentle heart as well. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.